Hi guys, I'm back. So I was looking at old OC docs I had and I dug up something. This one's not even that old, it's kind of recent, called Up the Ante, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remembered this because I designed OCs for this. I made a bunch of test webtoon pages for this, like, ooh, maybe I should make a comic. I even wrote some like prose type stuff. And then, did I post anything? No. So I'm going to talk about it now. And if I don't have the old man lore videos ready by the end of this week, then this is coming out instead. I was looking on the poll. It looks like everyone wants to see the old man OCs, and you know what? That is so fair, because if I were you, me too. So we're going to hear about Oz's lore in Up the Ante. See, now the great part about this is that I don't need to write a script. I don't need to write any new notes. I can literally just read off the lore doc. So good for me, good for a lazy person like me. So as the pages go down the video, I guess, you can read the like test pages I made, and I'll read out the initial pitch, which honestly, will I probably change it? Yeah. So pitch. Ozzy lives a double life. He's part-time small magician and part-time notorious phantom thief. You'd think it would do him some good to stick to his magician job, but in a place like Veritas, fame, reputation, and public image are, like, everything. You're nothing if not a product to market to the masses. In Ozzy's case, his persona as the Phantom Thief seems to be getting more eyes than his humble magician beginnings. However, trouble gets piled up on his plate when not only a detective gets on his case, but a so-called mysterious rival threatens to bring his whole empire crumbling down. Will he manage to have his hands in two kicks at once, or will he crumble under the pressure? Ooh. This is a Phantom Thief story. Yeah, I feel like you could tell by probably what you're seeing right about now. I love me a good Phantom Thief plot. I was a humongous fan of whatever the hell Phantom Thief Sayoma AUs had going in, like, I don't know, 2019. That's when I saw him. It awoke something in me. So now I was like, I need to make one of these guys. Let's go back to classics. I've got the whole speed paint on that canvas. I draw a lot of like different things on one canvas, so depending on how long I take to talk, then you might see the extra stuff of like when I was just sketching out stuff to get the vibe of the story, the fashion, that sort of thing. Yeah, let's start with our main character, Ozzy, or Oz the Strange and Wonderful, as most of his audience members as a magician will know him. Or perhaps the cops will know him as, well, the Phantom Thief. Or, he's just plain old Ozzy Pratt, normal guy, but he hates being a normal guy. So, honestly, he'd rather just be either Oz or the Phantom Thief to everyone. Which, I put quite a bit of thought into this one, actually, for once. Like, I was a little inspired by certain, like, Genshin fanfics I used to read, like, maybe when I was younger a lot, when there would be because you have, say, for example, Child from Genshin Impact. Okay, found like a really funny example. Child, because he's Child and he's Tartaglia and he's Ajax. And Ajax is really just the guy. Ajax is him when he's normal guy maxing. And then there's Child the Harbinger and Tartaglia. Actually, wait, well, both of them are technically, but when he's Harbinger-ing. But anyways, personas and all that. So I wanted to try something with that where there's Oz the Strange and Wonderful, there's the elusive Phantom Thief, and then there's just plain ordinary Ozzy Pratt. And he would rather be anyone else but Ozzy Pratt. Like, nobody ever calls him Ozzy, in fact. It's like reflected in his character relationships. Most people, especially his roommate Tinsley, who I will be introducing later, just calls him Oz. But that's gonna be important later. Because, can't have a Phantom Thief story without a detective and also, like, I don't know, a bunch of gay shit. So, he would call him, his detective guy would call him, Ozzy, which, foreshadowing for later, because then it's like, oh my god, wait, he cares about him, who he is as a person, and not just, like, the persona, blah, 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 all that stuff. Wow. That's so gay, guys. Yeah, but also, yeah, you'll see in the designs both his magician form and his Phantom Thief disguise, wear masks, because, well, obviously you'd want a mask in a Phantom Thief form, because otherwise cops are gonna know who he is. But it's also to reflect kind of like, because how they're both personas layered on top of him, and the Phantom Thief mask covers a lot more than his magician mask, and I guess that is on purpose, because then Oz is just bare face. The magician has like, you know, like a superhero mask, just eyeballs, and then the Phantom Thief's just got like, you know, almost his whole face covered. It's good. He's hiding. It's visual symbolism, guys. The curtains weren't just blue. Yeah, back to his Phantom Thieving lore. It started as another way to be himself and another side of himself that was, you know, just truly his own thing without judgment or eyes on him. Like an internet persona, or like how an internet persona, like, I wish, like, should be for me. But as the Phantom Thief got more media coverage and even became like someone popular, he got more pressure to perform for people, like, again, and then it just turned into like another audience persona, but like it was more criminal than a magician one. It was just like the crime version. Yeah, I based this off of like me sometimes like I think on the internet and I'm like, whoa, see, if I get on the internet I can weird max and drop like my crazy fun fan art, but then at the same time I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my god, what do I post? I'm like building a brand here. It's like, what brand? Nobody knows you. What are you on about? But I still care about it because it's still me, even though like on the internet you can be anyone you want, but like in my head I know that's still me, and then people will see that and then know it's a me. I haven't even gotten to the personality and background section of his character, by the way. I might need to use the whole speed paint or slow it down a lot. Yeah. Ozius again. He initially cares about... Oh, it's not that he initially cares about hiding himself. Like, he kind of just likes fame, and he also likes money. But this will come back to bite him in the ass. He will come to regret it. Mark my words. I love him. Honestly, I've imagined him to so many songs. This whole lore started... spoiler alert. Well, no spoilers. This whole lore started because okay, context. I've never watched Hazbin Hotel season 2 or season 1. I don't want to claim like I'm a fan. I'm not. But this isn't in an ashamed way either. It's just like I don't want to be like fake. Like, I promise I'm not. Like, if you're gonna ask me about it, I know like maybe base knowledge and that's it. But I really like a lot of their songs. Also because how did they get such a stacked musical cast? It's so awesome. And also, I think Christian Borle's cool. And he voices Vox, and there were so many Vox songs in season 2. I was like, oh, I'm listening to all of that. So don't you forget Reprise. I love you. You're awesome. I would listen to that shit and I was like, oh, I can make lore out of this. What are you on about? Ozius's background. He was just a normal guy. He's kind of he's, you know, just came from the most nothing burger, nothing ever. But he wants fame, and he wants riches, and he wants people's applause. He's really self-centered, and he loves attention. And honestly, sure, hell yeah. You know what? Like, sure, I love it when a character is self-absorbed. Yes, yes. I don't care. I love his terrible personality. He's a funny little guy. I like him. He's one of my favorite OCs, I think. I just don't draw him a lot, but I think about him a lot. Ooh. See, now he has an old friend here. Ever heard of we were friends in college? Yeah. Think like Fid Author, but like even more doomed with it, because they were thick as thieves, and they were also roommates, Oz and his friend Ernest. Ooh. And they had wit, sharp charm, and intellect, and they were like, ooh, yes, we are cool. And like, you know, they were from nowhere town nothing burger, but they made the most of what they had, and they were both smart and witty and cool. And yes, they were incredibly homoerotic with it. Were past tense, because, well, things happened and their friendship broke up. Oh my god. Now, is why their friendship broke up clear to me? Not yet, but I did get a really good idea from one of my IRL friends. Shout out to her. Where maybe they're falling out is because like Ozius like embarrasses him or snubs him or betrays him in some way for the possibility of like fame, money, riches, friends. He sounds like the freaking not fashion famous. Like when, I think it's Flamingo, I'm not sure. But I remember all the time when he goes, fame, fashion, friends. That's him. That's literally him. So yeah, they're friend group divorce. Sorry, just friendship divorce, not friend group. There's only 2 of them. But I love me a good friendship divorced. Ooh, doomed as hell. But Ernest might become important later. Do I have him designed? No, I only have 2 characters designed, which... See, Oz and Tinsley, his roommate, they met at the Angels Pavilion, which is the bar they end up working at as like magicians slash stand-up comedians slash look, they just perform there, okay? They just do that. And oh, there's another note, it's just about phantom thieving again. Yeah, he holds a twisted sense of reverence combined with like resentment for the rich and powerful of Veritas, the city they live in, which is really corrupt, by the way. I feel like I should have explained that first. I didn't know where to do world building your character first, but yeah, he causes mischief. He does like, I don't know, art heists. I honestly didn't know what kind of crimes to make him do for like literally just the thrill of the chase. This was written when I was also playing a lot of Roblox Prison Life, and the thrill of the chase is low-key everything. I don't play a lot of Prison Life anymore, but it was kind of fun for like even just a little bit, especially because I didn't have school. It was like the summer, so. You know, and you know what? He also returns the things afterwards. Like, he just doesn't care. He genuinely, it is for a thrill chase. He does not care about what he's doing. He's just like, return it later. It's not like he has any use for, like, rich people art pieces. Like, he lives in, like, a shitty apartment somewhere in the city. And then, like, he doesn't really care about the home decor of it all for now. Yeah, I'll probably have to explain. I think I'll have to take a break in between to explain the city and then get back to Tinsley, because I think that'll make more sense. Oh, finally. Last section. Personality. Ozius is charismatic, charming, conniving, that's a lot of the letter C, and humorous, H. Most people like him when they first meet him, and he's moderately popular as a magician. His magical whimsy and charming, borderline flirtatious disposition make him popular with most people that he meets, but underneath all that, like, he really can't be bothered to be presentable or overly likable. For that matter, his obsession with being liked and popular is like the only thing that actually like motivates him to actually like normal max in front of people. Once again, he loves fame, fashion, friends. But yeah, at home he's kind of a slob and is like mean and off-putting, but only Tinsley has seen the side of him because he'd rather die than ruin his good PR. To which I tell him, what PR? You're not that famous, calm down. Character flaws. He is also demanding, selfish, vain, fickle. He cares too much about what other people think, which I think really goes with the job. It's Applewhite maxing, Glinda the Good maxing, like my favorite characters, I think. Like, he would serve the masses before anyone else, and himself even before that. And he can also be overdramatic and demanding when things can go his way. But he puts his public image above all else, which I think probably costs him a lot of good relationships he could have with anyone, ever. Really destroying his own life here. Whatever, man. For what he wants, oh, well, I've went over that. Fame, fashion, friends. Fame, to be loved by the Mash Collective, and to be rich. Fame, fashion, friends, money. I've been getting into Death Becomes Her, the musical, recently, and I think he would fit right in. He'd fit right in. He would be like Madeline Ashton and Helen Sharp. He'd take a drink of that immortality elixir, let me tell you. Oh yeah, for these profiles I'll put what they could lose to try to help me write the story. What he could lose is like his freedom, reputation, the respect people have for him, the few true friends he does have, cough Tinsley. And he also risks putting a target on his back for people he's stolen from, especially if they're feeling particularly vengeful. So that's kind of his stakes here, I guess. Like, it kind of sets up the stakes for the story for him. And it would also really inconvenience him if he was, like, I don't know, if he went poor, went to prison, obviously, lost fans, and if nobody liked him, he only cares about what he looks like to other people. Or I guess, like, you know, simplified, if I, like, had to put it down as one thing. Yes, that is Ozius. I did not expect to talk about him for a full 12 minutes. Oh my god. But that was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to just, yeah, this might be my longest video yet, but I don't really care. I mean, do you guys want a long video? I mean, like, if half of it is me talking about nothing. See, I'm doing it again. Veritas, the city. You get to look at me designing where Tinsley and Oz live. Except I had a lot of references on Pinterest and a lot of like Sims townhouses as well somewhere in there. Like, this is just the vibe. I don't know if this is quite right for what I want, but this is kind of like the feeling of it. And ignore the interior, it's not that great. And having been in one of my friends' apartments now, I feel like I kind of know like how I should approach this now with the apartment. Ignore the floor plan. It's a really bad floor plan. You should see in The Sims, I really struggle with floor plans. Although, like, sometimes I hit, like, a eureka moment and kind of have a great time. It just needs to have a front and back door, because I needed... Obviously, Oz needs to get in from the back door when he's crime maxing. Yeah, city. It's a rumbling city that's crawling with nightlife and definitely some corruption, but it's been so normalized that everyone just accepts it as part of what Veritas is. Which is funny, because Veritas, the truth... That could not be more inaccurate if it tried. So, in Veritas, the rich and the wealthy hold on to all the power, but that could all come crumbling down if people don't like you. There's more than one currency in Veritas. One is the monetary kind and the other is social currency. Reputation, popularity, and public image are everything in this city. That's why jobs in entertainment and creating a product out of yourself for the masses to enjoy are like really valued. Although like you got like classic businessmen as well and like other normal classic rich people jobs that people will tell you to get majors in have monetary value. But actors, entertainers, performers, they have the most in social currency, if not like cash money. It's a really long pause. But yeah, think bigger is better. Think, I don't know, like hedonism. Think clinking of glasses and the rumbling of a crowd and like Gatsby parties and showgirls and swing music. And it's kind of 1920s-ish. I don't know, is that right? But since the town is fictional, I get to be a little stretchy and fun with it. I don't have to be like 100% historically accurate to all of it. I already take history classes. I'm low-key tired of researching, guys. I'm sorry. Which should be the most fun part. But like sometimes I love research, but sometimes I hate it. Yeah. Extra note on that Gatsby parties, but that is like the one thing I wanted to draw Oz doing. I was like, I want to draw him in just like one of those like classic like rich people parties with like a glass of like, I don't know, champagne and a really fancy suit. And have I done that yet? No. I've just imagined it. But whatever, man. Anyways, technology-wise, the setting is based on a more like archaic time period. Veritas does have access to things like, you know, like modern cameras for filming and like modern like famous people stuff, I guess. The fancy billboard star screens and whatever. You know, if it helps the media be more mass, then it's allowed in, is what my personal rule for it, I guess, what I wrote down. And, oh, now here's what's important to it. Because I forgot to mention as well, and I'll just a bit, because I was like, why the hell would you just want to be a Phantom Thief for the hell of the game? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's my OC, I'm allowed to make things up sometimes. Even if I feel really bad about it, I'm like, this doesn't make sense, and it's like, stop judging yourself. So, Veritas can be so freaking crime-ridden and Gotham-y that, like, honestly, people do not even really care about petty crime or small misdeeds as long as you, like, hush and keep it quiet. Like, the cops suck at their jobs, it's like a cartoon. The mayor probably embezzles funds. Veritas is just so, like that people kind of have accepted corruption as their way of life. Like, at that point, like, nobody even cares at this point. Like, if stuff happens, it's like, oh, whatever, man. But then also, like, I guess if you're famous, you could still get canceled. It's just a matter of keeping it on the down low. I won't tell if you won't tell. And yeah, everyone has kind of accepted that corruption as part of their lifestyle, half because of like a hopelessness that nothing will change and they're just like, might as well just take what we get, and half because it's just so sensational around here and kind of affordable enough that nobody can bother with the hard work of like actually going somewhere else. It's like, whatever, I live here now, I might as well just suffer here, this is my life now. That's the place. This will come important, I guess because it like, that's why Ozius is so like that. And he's perfect for this place. The town is also just like that. But Tinsley's the opposite, and we will get to her, like, I guess after this. Now. So, hopefully I don't talk about her for a whole 12 minutes again, but would you look at that? I didn't fill in her section for her background or backstory, so that already cuts out some of the time. So the base of Tinsley's character is that she outright refuses Veritas' system of life at every turn. You know, she's nothing if not exceedingly earnest, wink wink, just like other earnest. So much so to the point where she risks her relationship with others, I guess, like, she doesn't gaff. She hasn't got much in the way of friends, and the one person who tolerates her so far is Oz, who, funnily enough, is someone who highly subscribes to the, well, lying. And, well, Tinsley struggles with change. She also struggles with standing up and making a real difference as anything is a thing. Because change is just so much effort, and she's the queen of, like, not doing shit. And having depression slumps and whatever. Which is what sets her apart from our detective, who I realize I haven't name dropped yet. His name was going to be Arthur, aka Art. And I did write a little bit of profile for him, but once again, you saw sketches, but his design is kind of, I didn't like any of them. But yeah, Arthur, he's a guy who speaks the truth unyieldingly and has the determination to back it up. But, you know, Tinsley hated it here, and she'll complain, but she won't change anything. Because rip girl. But I like that about her too. I don't know, I like how I got through detail with their personalities for this one. So, speaking of which, personality, Tinsley is sincere, she's blunt, she's unsociable, she's plain, she's plan-oriented. She subscribes to logic and sensibility, and is really normal compared to the larger-than-life personas that Veritas worships, which hasn't done so well to get her any good reputations or friends in this city, but she'd like rather die than change herself for something as stupid as whatever the hell goes on in this place. And well, the only reason she plays along in small ways is because, like, well, it would make Oz happy and she needs a job. Anyways, it is highly draining, though, for her. I mean, like, you can see in her design, she's like a miserable clown. Saddest clown you'll ever see in that fun makeup. I just wanted to draw a Pietro-style character. It's true. Don't even know what this does, but they got, I don't know, they're like a duo act. Oh, her flaws. I like this paragraph because it's the biggest paragraph on there. She can also be rude, cowardly, lazy, pessimistic, and also very unmotivated, which is so real of her, girl. She struggles to stand up and put in the effort to change her life or do anything further than, like, complain about it despite being a part of it. Because, well, deep down she fears the big changes that she would have to undertake in order to properly change it all and, like, maybe even get out of here. But, you know, it's just so much fucking effort. And Oz is her only friend, and, like, you know, changing everything would take so much work, and, you know, she's stuck in her stagnancy. Which, like, well, I wouldn't even hate her for it. Like, girl, whatever. That's real. Yeah. That's her flaw. Standing strong in her beliefs is too much effort and causes so much unnecessary conflicts too. Like, she'd rather just stick around or agree with whatever nonsense you're babbling because she knows it's never going to change your opinion, and, like, she's never going to change either. So, like, what's the point? Why bother fighting anything? Do you see her pessimism? She's a giver-upper. Which I guess is part of why she stays with Ozius. I do have something else in the outline I wrote down. The thing, like, when she found out about his, side hobby, she found out early on, she was initially mad that he was bringing all this shit to her house. It's like, why are you making our lives harder? But then at some point, this goes in hand with her, she's a giver-upper. At some point, she just gave up, and she was like, well, whatever, do what you want. Just keep out of my face. And, throughout the story, when Ozius keeps getting more and more dragged up in stardom and fame, fashion, friends, she's once again, she won't say anything about it. She's just like, whatever. But then, like, deep down inside, their friendship low-key falling apart because he keeps choosing fame over friends. He keeps choosing fame and money over the friends part of fame, fashion, friends. Which is, yeah. Like, she's aware, but, like, she won't do anything about it. And that's Tinsley at her core. So, we love her. Whatever, girl. I like that, actually. That was a really solid flaw. Well, what she wants, goals, I guess. Secure position in life, a routine, friends who support her, I don't know, some peace and quiet. She just doesn't need much. She values sincerity and reality, which is a much needed contrast to the shallow morals of Veritas and also Oz himself. And yeah, it would distress her if she lost Oz as a friend, because she does care about him. Just not enough to say no and, tell him when he needs to stop. she'll just let it go on because she can't bother with the effort of like actually having to fight him on things. She'd rather not. And, you know, if she got dragged into his drama, that'd distress her as well. And his teeth problems. Or like if she had to break out of routine. I guess like if she was a main character and had to have a whole character arc about improving herself. Well, she is one of the main characters. But like I guess her character arc would be about, you know, standing up for her own opinions instead of lying back and just taking whatever she's given. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Last part. With more characters that I wrote profiles for but haven't drawn yet. Or like maybe did doodles of. Like Arthur and Ernest and like I guess like other like club bar members and the other performers there and whatever. Yeah, but I don't have any more speed paints, so you're just going to have to look at my sprite change like every couple seconds. Sporadically. Yeah. Arthur, aka Art. Full name Arthur Truman. I didn't drop Tinsley's last name in the last one. It's Hodges. Her full name is Tinsley Hodges. The Aussiest Pratt, Tinsley Hodges, and now we have Arthur Truman. Arthur, speech marks, Art Truman. Which, actually, there is thought behind his surname in this one, because I was like, Truman, like the Truman Show. But then I was like, oh my gosh. Because it's like everything in Veritas is so sensationalized and turned into like something to entertain people, something to market, something to be a show, to be an entertainment for eyes, for the gaze. Just like The Death Becomes Her song. And then his last name is like Truman of the Truman Show, whose entire life was a TV show. And it's like, whoa. Kind of cooked with that one. But yeah. Arthur Art Truman. He's like one of the few capable cops / detectives here. He's a detective guy. But he's the type of detective that chases down phantom thieves across rooftop chases and looks at him gaily in the eyes. Yeah, unlike most of the other cops and law enforcement of Veritas, Arthur stands in a direct conflict with the ideals of performance and public value, and would rather do good for the sake of it being good and moral. He's like an actual alpha Bathrop in a world full of like the wizard. He does true good rather than performing it, hence that's why he makes such a great foil to Oz, because he's an upstanding detective who solves the mystery of the Phantom Thief once and for all. He's all about that truth. And like most of all about him as well. The difference between him and Tinsley, as I said before, it's like, I guess what she could be if she put an active effort into refusing and rejecting Veritas' ideal instead of conforming to them, yet still complaining. It makes her sound so annoying, I realize. I feel like when I talk about it, I'm like, oh my god, what if you guys hate her? But don't hate my OCs. Guys, I love them all, even if they have terrible personalities and fall sometimes. That's just about being human. I love that. But you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Background. He was born and raised in Veritas, compared to like, probably like Tinsley, or maybe Tinsley also probably grew up here. I didn't write that down, but like maybe she would. But Ozziest didn't. He's like from the outside, but he really wants in on that life so bad. But meanwhile, Art is like, he's in, but he wants out of this. Or actually, he doesn't want out. He wants to stick around to make it better. And you know, from the very first moment, he hated it here. Well, I mean, not really. He had a normal childhood, and he like didn't actually care too much. He was most like a normal citizen until like, then he got a first-hand experience of like, oh, no, wait, the way we live here is like actually so bad, guys. What do you mean? So I wrote a note here, like, I don't know, clear example of how Veritas' corruption and vanity hurt him in some way. Like maybe he lost someone he loved, so I was like, oh, maybe this can involve his parents. Maybe one of his parents was a former star and he saw how it affected him firsthand and he like killed themselves or something. Or like they got attacked, mugged on Bruce Wayne style, I don't know. But like something to do with the core of Veritas City itself. That he's like, I hate it here, I need to fix things. Which is why I'm such a truthful detective. He's truth maxing, he's Shuichi Saihara. He's pure vanilla cookie. Truth and lies, man. Yeah, it inspired him, like a shonen protagonist, to go and make the world a better place. Not to be a movie detective for the flash and the fame, but to be someone who actually does stuff. Wow. I didn't write down his personality, but I feel like you could have gotten it from that. I don't know. I didn't put it in words, and then I put, yeah, what he wants, I guess you can get around there too. And, you know, it'd really dismay him if he was reduced to a media prop, which kind of happens. I didn't explain the main plot. Well, I kind of did. I did the pitch. But, like, the thing is, I was like, wait, that makes no sense, because if he's a phantom, if Oz is a phantom thief, how does he become media sensationalized if he's a literal criminal? And to that I say, well, maybe Veritas is just that bad, which is why I made the city like that. I was like, wait, yeah, because the original point of the story was, which I'm probably gonna keep, it's because like first he does the crime just like, you know, for his funsies, but then as it goes on, and it's like, hey, we really like your phantom thief swag, and he points at Art. Your detective swag. You're like a gay phantom thief movie, and Art is like, I actually want to make a change in the world here. Hello, we need to arrest this guy. And Oz is like, tucks hair behind ear. Well, thanks guys. So he kind of like follows his dreams, but like in a really unexpected way, like through crime. And they get like really like, I don't know, stardom with it. I don't have the specifics, but like they become stars. This is how he starts attending the Gatsby parties. Yes. But yeah, but then like then he's gonna keep going down that path, and it's like, whoa. Then he gets more rivals along the way looking to make him look bad, and then he starts like throwing away, really hurting his friendships in the pursuit of fame, I guess, which is, you know, classic thing. It's just a bigger scale version. I've always noticed like that sort of thing is just like the bigger scale grown-up version of like high school shows where they start out unpopular and they have unpopular friends, but then they get in on the popular group, but then they become as bad as the popular group, and it's like, oh my god, no. And then you get the other side of the song, and then you get like Michael in the bathroom and kindergarten boyfriend, and someone gets hurt reprise, I think. Yeah, like that, but a bigger scale version of that, which is also like unrelated again. This is really fun, just talking in tangents. Which, once again, other big grown-up version of that, Stanford Pines from Gravity Falls. Aldi trying to talk about Gravity Falls for 5 minutes. Challenge failed immediately. Because it's like, whoa, no more friendships. Only fame, fashion, friends, money. Or whatever else. I don't know, passion. But it's like, passions are important, but then it's like, oh my gosh. Your interpersonal relationships. Back to the topic. I'm done. Back to the topic. Oh yeah, there are a lot of more profiles actually. I think we're almost done. Like there's Ernest, who, yeah, he does become important, because I was gonna make him like stand directly in the way of like, and directly harm Oz's reputation as phantom thief / celebrity, sim celebrity. Because I don't know of their falling out, but also maybe even more. Maybe he's working under another secret evil organization that's bigger than this, because it's like, surely like you didn't do all of that revenge plot just because you two broke up in college. Friendship broke up, but maybe it was that bad. Yeah, Ernest Hall, and then more supporting cast. We got Faye Campbell, which I was going to have like as a journalist, and there was going to be this girl Agatha Volkova, and she was going to work at the bar as well as another girl, I don't know, a singer or a dancer. And I had just like a full list of names I didn't use, but I was like, I could totally, these names fit the vibe. Got Daisy. Oh, Pack It Up, Great Gatsby. I've never even read The Great Gatsby. Do you know what I am? Literally just a Gravity Falls fan. Sitting here like, maybe should. Although I have a friend who is like, don't, because she hates it. But I don't know. Whatever. That's enough. That's enough. I hope you guys had fun with this really long video. I hope it wasn't too boring. Maybe you listened to it in the background like a podcast while you were drawing yourself or doing something else. But whatever it was, I hope you enjoyed listening to me yap. This was actually really fun. I don't usually talk for this long in these videos. Yeah. Hopefully, Old Mano sees next week. Goodbye.